So I am Valentine RONDELEZ. I am the founder of Musée. Good morning. I'm Virginie DEWISME, in charge of mediation at the Museum of Fine Arts of Arras, which is part of the cultural hub alongside the library. We've been working together for 2 years now. So we launched to give a voice and to allow people to hear the music and the emotions of words around works of art in an app that you can find if you scan this QR code without uploading anything, without having to create an account. We want you to listen to this in the right conditions so you can very easily discover this. So indeed, it's something that exists since December 2021. We have 7 capsules, and we have extra new capsules this year. So there are 10 works of art that we worked on. So 8 were written by Valentine, and 2 were co-created, and we will tell you more about this in a few minutes. So Musair was an innovation via writing, via our relation to these works of art. And this is where we have the same goal. Musair has a very active, relation between the work of art and the visitor. We're going to immerse the visitor in this work of art. And this has completely changed. This is linked to the goal of the museum, which is to have a new experience, to come and look at these works of art in give some about 10. What made sense in this drill is that what it is we share an interest in their connotation.
And we wanted to promote our collection. We considered recreation as being a way of trying new things, experimenting, but not always successful. We would have the medium and library from which the relationship with the writing and us in the museum where the means that we have objectives to cover. So this real relationship within work and is an innovation. So the writing, yeah, you have the recipe. You like the word that each commentary of a work tries to create a drive to draw the attention. We grab the attention of the visitor and we take them gradually towards the object that they're looking at. It's a very contemporary approach, which also uses music in different periods to try to attract the attention. It's strange, it's original to approach a work of art through music. And also there's the voice and the way everything is constructed to draw the visitor in. So each work justifies a specific approach. And what we try to create with the writing is just the right emotion, which really corresponds exactly to the work of art. And for the spectators and the visitors to try to create that emotion. Regarding the choice of the 10, it's never easy to choose the works of art. So we chose works which are representative of our collection. Like the Charles and the or showing the school of Arras. And for us, it's also good to talk about the physical around the museum. We want them to move around the museum. So we try to use works which are spread around the venue. And to choose where we had identified a specific potential for the drafting, for the writing, to make a more personal approach to the end. The mediation, this is one of the possibilities we offer alongside other types of mediation is something we consider as an additional extra that works well in attracting interest. This is a very personalized universe. Each of the work is its own universe, its own and in this way, we hope that if people listen to one of these, they might want to listen to the others as well. Each time there is that surprise that is created, which really, if you work at once, it could quite possibly work well.
What is your faculty effectivement et possible?
So,
Incidemment, skolfjordi, samordna sorglig individuals och haft.
and here we wanted to have,
But can you make cool?
we're also thinking about having short
Not that for here.
visit, a short tour,
I was on. Where you get one?
and we can also divide it for workshop. Here we have 2 workshops, which I have moderated with local people and visitors.
Thursday?
Should
I make no mimic count.
with the same efforts as on all the other creations.
Okay, and make a studio landscape instead of
And as very important in the work is that this is something I wanted to do, which corresponded to the objectives of the museum. And the museum has accepted to go along with this, working with 10 people who was in front of a work of art and to see how they respond.
I mean, I sister said it about it.
We tried.
Oh, thank goodness, that just nothing. I'm not crazy. It would, I mean, like, there were people
Aim through this tricks are brought up in gyms and visitors.
not the fault of the folks else. She's like, it's not.
The idea of co-creation is great because, like any person in charge of mediation, we're always looking for ways to make visitors more active, to play an active part in the visit. And to
By cooperative
this virtual, and as you said, this is something which
permanent. Alors évidemment, hein, il y a une forme de validation. On est revenu sur aucune chose, sauf des périls. Dans le domaine des beaux-arts, vraiment de féliciter pour qu'il n'y ait pas de fausseté par rapport à nos âmes. C'est vraiment une voilà, une forme de
it really is something really composed of the locator, which is a GTI thing. There's different level of in reading. There's different emotions. Most of the emotions inspired 5 new works of art. As such a result of all of this, the first of these observations and in surveys certificates, and if it's on the application, I'll let you talk about that. So the results we have seen, first of all, the first feedback we get for quality experience. Our visitors are surprised.
certification.
To spend because they spend 4 minutes standing in front of a work of art and they're surprised
Dans la période de plusieurs fois.
see that this listening helps them to see the work better. And they have the impression of really having looked more effectively at the work of art through this.
Ça fait les familles aussi, peut-être.
And it's an experience which is quite contagious. People see visitors doing this if they want to try it. So
C'est pas trop ça, mais ça s'apprécie quand même. Il faudra.
this is something that people like to try for themselves.
Et je te rends
And also they recommend the experience to others.
there were other stuff and I impression. Some friends that
Less people have listened to one of the capsules.
from Valentine, vous avez dit une fois, on va discuter.
They-
Il y a peut-être with it.
And we see that people go much further
But they will go to
in wanting to share their
sure what I mean.
to people about them. And it's ultimately,
He is at the law for this one for me.
and we realize that these capsules really will enable this enhanced experience. Obviously, this fact of feeling these artistic emotions, reading is wonderful for the visitors. They come to the museum because they think it could be interesting, that they're going to see some works of art and inspire it. It's not always like that the way it happens. But when you really feel emotion in front of a work of art, it changes the whole experience.
Les œuvres d'acrophage and to these at Carol.
With the visitors really looking at the other works of art differently because of this.
activity ways that you get to and what's to put it
In the workshops, there's also this creating something collectively, coming to the agreement on what we see, what we feel, talking about the works of art, really makes a very intense experience. Most of the people who have taken part in the workshops come back again 2, 3, and 4 times, or come back with friends because they really want to share that experience, to produce this commentary for the museum. And really, it does make for a very collective feeling. And then obviously, it also contributes to the digital image, online image of the museum. A lot of people are doing it to these after visiting the museum. And also we make a lot of use of music, which also is interesting. So we don't yet have a Spotify for our works of art, but it does create a certain attachment to the works of art. And I don't know if we've gone over time or not, so whether we might just say a few about what of the
Alors, Roland, les bibliothèques d'œuvres conseillent aussi utiliser Smashing Penalty was a
let's represent on channel. Art of the museum, we have collections from the Middle Ages through to the 19th century, like these sculptures. And get into the medieval galleries where we have lots of fragments of statues and stone. We took this mask, which is considered a masterpiece of sculpture, but we have very little information about it. It's a fragment. Only. The idea was to try to be touched by this, and we hope that so. So it is caused between their hands. So starting out from almost nothing, I have the pleasure of explaining how the culinary mask was separated from the body and found its way into the collections of the museum with music, which has a very beautiful effect. And if we can, and there's also this Tongue, which is the latest creation from one of our workshops, and which is an opportunity to see that when we are 10 of us together, we can produce content which creates a certain attachment to the work of art. So thank you very much for participating with Virginie. I don't know if there are any questions from your attention. In any case, I have some questions. There's a question over there. So before I begin, go ahead. Hello, I'm Nancy, Musée. I wanted to know how many workshops. So it's 2 workshops for each capsule. Intention. We go and work with the social centers, community centers, to get local people involved. But we didn't want to come up with something time consuming. So we do 2 workshops with a gap of 1 or 2 days between them to try to have this immersion in the writing experience, and to make sure it is an experience for both people taking part, but really in a very focused way. And one of the exceptional aspects of the workshops is that people can come into the room, sit down, and take the time to look at the works of art, and that really is a very special moment for them to take part. And also they can come into the museum to see the works of art outside the normal opening times. I was wondering. These works of art in the museum, is that a numbered where people follow a certain order for one work to be next in a specific order, or is it really just however people want? And is there a label with QR codes? How does it actually work physically? Well, if the total reason the writing is very free. We didn't want to create a word that was strict. So you have a label near the work of art with a QR code. So
If that's not over the yes, the one I could.
we do have some documents presenting these different works of art. But if you haven't seen that, when you're visiting the rooms and you just, if you can just read the QR codes, there's no application at all. What we wanted to do in this really was to say that people can
It was sounds also free and it's one of the
Right.
it. So
and you
all the sample factors.
all three perhaps come back to do another one. There's no logical order. There's no sequence.
They got this also number
Each of them is self-contained. There's no link between them.
Oh, you already worked for the
We never say, go to the third floor to see the next work of art.
Alors, il faut des étudiants et
We provide them at the reception desk of the museum. We would like to have tablets for all people who don't have smartphones, but what we see is no people
whole Barberda word.
often use the loudspeaker on their phone. They don't put it on too loudly. It's not a problem. And we let the people free to listen to that. And regarding the tour, what's interesting is we see that there is an audience of people now who are used to these things, who read the QR codes and really follow the tour.
So, et ça, c'est l'esprit vraiment.
And so it was so reminding. We see that when people see other people doing this and see them looking as a work of art for 3 or 4 minutes, it makes other people curious if they want to try it for themselves.
First.
So really create the wish to show others. And you've come back to what was said there. What's going on? Do you use these for other purpose?
Oui, alors déjà, ça c'est dans
So it's these are all accessible online at any time.
Oui, parce que les personnes vont découvrir.
So people
Via Internet, ils vont avoir envie.
can perhaps discover these things on the internet that might make them want to come to see the museum to live the experience for themselves.
Ça fait vraiment.
And we use it more and more in our mediation activities. For example, for the poetry festival, we organize to promote this.
Or un événement tel que le parcours des Goëls, de suivre actually how much it is with us.
So, to show that even with works of art, there can be this attention to writing. It's another form of poetry. I don't have
Thanks to poet, like the martyrs.
Lately, this
I don't know what is like to but yeah, c'est pas leur faute that doesn't break.
creates that this really have to be an impression of being in a bubble of poetry when they do this, which means we have succeeded. Thank you in any case. Well, with the censoring poetic experiences, which is your stand? G05, just over there. And the best thing is to come have this to really feel the experience for yourself physically and to see what that is like. Okay, so very interesting also to see how do you integrate all of this into the approach. So thank you very much.